Hello and welcome to Books of Blood, but we're now Cinema of Blood, at least for this installment or for this series, 50 years of horror movies. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the year 1979 in horror movies. I have got 5 horror movies here for you, and the good thing about it is I have actually seen every single one of these movies on this list. I may have seen some of them more than once. I may have seen some of them only once, but I have seen them. Alright, so it'll make it a little bit easier for me. Alright, so the first one we're going to talk about is Alien. And this is directed by Ridley Scott. The screenplay is by Dan O'Bannon. It is from a story by Ronald Shusett. Alright. This movie, and I'm just going to go ahead and name the whole cast because the people you see in this movie, that's the cast. Alright, Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm, Yaphet Kotto, Harry Dean Stanton, and Veronica Cartwright. So what is Alien about? Alien is about the crew members, the people that I just mentioned, are the actors that are playing the characters that I'm going to mention here, of the USS Nostromo. Alright, so it starts off, they are nice and happy and sleeping in their little sleep pods, and all of a sudden the ship comes to life. There's an unknown transmission. Because they are company people, they've got to go and answer the call, find out what this transmission is. And when they do, Kane, played by John Hurt, encounters this big, huge freaking egg. The egg opens up, blap, right on his face. They take him back to the med bay. He looks fine. Next thing you know, right out of his chest, the chest burster. Alright, and then this thing grows to huge freaking proportions, and it is up to the rest of the crew to get rid of this big son of a bitch. Okay? He is big, he is ugly, he is just... Wow, man, and it seems like no defense against this big, huge creature, because if you cut him and he bleeds, guess what? Acid blood. That's what happens. That is Alien. It's awesome. Alright? If you've never seen Alien, you've got to see Alien, alright? Alright? And then there's, of course, 3 other movies, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, and then the Alien vs. Predator movies. Less said about those, the better. And in my opinion, less said about Alien Resurrection, the better. I hated that movie. Alright, anyway. Anyhow, alright, yes. I'm going to say one thing about Alien. The first time I heard about Alien, you remember when you just had TV. You didn't have cable TV, you just had TV, and they'd show movie trailers. I remember the one for Alien because it just showed like this egg. And it's like floating, and then it spells out alien, and then the egg kind of cracks, and it's like in space, no one can hear you scream, and I'm like, I want to go see this movie. And I'm so glad I did. I absolutely love Alien. Alright, anyway, that's Alien. Let's move on, since I've ranted and raved and or whatever. Alright, the next one we're going to talk about is the Amityville Horror. And this is directed by Stuart Rosenberg. And the screenplay is by Sander Stern, and it is, of course, well, we're going to say there's a list that says here, story by George Lutz, but it is also based on the book by Jay Anson, all right? So the Amityville Horror is about the Lutz family. They move into this house, and the thing about the house is that, well, they start experiencing all kinds of strange stuff, like the girl starts talking to this pig-like creature named Jody. You see red eyes in the window, flies all over the place, all kinds of freaky, demonic crap, you know. And the thing about it is, though, is that in real life, the real Amityville house, which is what this whole based on, because it's supposed to be based on a true story, the DeFeo family. Before the Lutzes moving in, it was the DeFeo family, and Ronald DeFeo shot and killed his entire family. I'm not sure if Ronald DeFeo is still alive or not. I don't know. But anyway, that's pretty much the premise. And it's supposed to be, like I said, it's supposed to be based on a true story. Some people say it's a hoax. Some people say it's not. It's still a fun horror movie. Alright? Still a really excellent, fun, freaking horror movie. So there you go. That is the Amityville Horror. Alright. Next up. And I lied. I am so sorry. I lied. I just caught myself in a lie. I have not seen all the movies on this list. There's one that I have not seen. Alright? We'll get to it in a minute. Alright, so next up we've got The Brood. And this is written and directed by David Cronenberg. Stars Oliver Reed, Samantha Eggar, and Art Hindle. All right. So what it's about is Art Hindle is the husband of Samantha Eggar, and she has been institutionalized, and Oliver Reed is her psychiatrist, and he's got these very unconventional methods of psychology that he's been doing on, I think her name is Nola. I believe her name is Nola. Maybe Nora, but I think it's Nola. But anyway, it's really some weird, unconventional stuff. And Art Hindle, he's not too happy about it. But meanwhile, there are these weird murders going on that involve these, just these childlike, ugly little creatures that you kind of figure out. And like I said, I'm going to spoil, because if you haven't seen it, it's been 1979. I'm sorry. And I do hate spoiling, but I'm not going to, like I said, 79. Anyway, but you kind of wonder, are these creatures like a part of Nola's subconscious? Is she sending these creatures out somehow to do her bidding, so to speak? So yeah, that is pretty much the plot of The Brood. Really excellent movie. I think The Brood may be one of my favorite Cronenberg films. Now, I haven't mentioned my favorite film, and we're going to get to that one here in a little while. I'm not going to talk about it right now, because I want to include it as part of this series. All right. Anyway, that is The Brood. Okay. All right. So now this is the one that I actually have not seen. All right. This is The Driller Killer. All right. And this one is directed by Abel Ferrara. It is a screenplay. The screenplay is by Nicholas St. John. It stars Abel Ferrara, but he was acting as Jimmy Lane. In the credits, it says Jimmy Lane, Carolyn Mars, and Baby Day. That's B-A-Y-B-I Day. Baby Day. What a weird, strange name. I don't know where it came from. Anyway, it's about this artist, and he's starting to kind of go nuts. He's struggling with his art. He's struggling to pay bills, to keep everything afloat. And it kind of just sends him over the edge. So he stalks the streets of, I believe, New York, because a lot of Abel Ferrara's movies take place in New York. But he stalks the streets of New York with a power drill and kills people with the power drill. That is the plot of The Driller Killer. All right, not subtle. I mean, Abel Ferrara is not known for subtlety. I don't think he's a subtle person. All right, and he's actually done some really good movies. Body Snatchers was directed by him, and I really enjoyed that. The King in New York with Christopher Walken. I haven't seen that one. I keep seeing bits and pieces, but what I saw I really enjoyed, and you can't go wrong with Christopher Walken. All right, but anyway, that is The Driller Killer. Okay. And finally, last but not least, we have Phantasm. And it is written and directed by Don Coscarelli. It stars Michael Baldwin, Bill Thornberry, Reggie Bannister, and Angus Scrimm as the tall man. And so what is this movie about? This movie is almost one of those that kind of defies description. It is about this young kid and his brother and their friend, and they're kind of terrorized by this tall, creepy looking grave robber, and he's the tall man, Angus Scrimm, in an iconic role. All right, and he has all these kind of weapons. Actually, he's got one really super cool weapon that he uses to dispatch of his victims, and it is this steel ball that floats through the air. When it finds a victim, next thing you know, this thing comes out like this long knife, and it just goes right there, and then just right into the person's head, and then this drill comes and just drills into the person's head. Yeah, it's just so creepy cool. Phantasm is one of those, like I said, it's just one of those movies that almost defies description. It is just that wild. All right. So there you go. That is 5 movies from the year 1979, closing out the 1970s. All right. So, next we come back, we're going to be talking about the 1980s. And I'm pretty sure you can guess which year is going to be the first. Alright, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.